Well, it's good seeing you. I'm glad I made it to the end of the game. And, it's about time. They pay me to do the whole game, not portions of it. But thank goodness we got a good staff. Overall, we were ready to play. What a crowd, huh, today. What a tremendous crowd we had. It was such a great Cameron day. We found out today about the injury to Evans. And my feeling is we were ready to play. And in the first half, we felt like we could steal the ball or pressure and get them. And they're strong with the ball. Their kids played really well. And when you try to steal, you commit. You don't steal with two hands, you steal with one. And when you do, you get narrow. And when you get narrow, they go by you. When you're controlling the ball, you have two hands out and you're wide. In the second half, we controlled the ball. That was the adjustment we made. And it's not a matter of, and they took advantage of it. They were strong. Joey saved us in the first half. I mean, Joey was spectacular. And in the second, but we were playing hard. It had nothing, and not taking anyone for granted. We just thought we could win quicker. And that wasn't going to happen. And they didn't contribute to that. They said, no, you're not going to win that way. And because they're a hell of a program. And but in the second half, we cut down on the amount. They scored in the paint late, but they didn't get in the paint in the second half. They got in the paint at will in the first half. I thought we assisted well, 25 assists. Some of the passes from Trevor were spectacular. And I really thought Paulo had a different gear in the second half. And we out-rebounded them 41-23, but the thing we didn't do well was keep them out of our paint in the first half. But I understand why we didn't do it, and we can correct that, which we did in the second half. So, good win. Got to just keep moving. So, any questions that you all might have?
You joked about making it through the game. Did you have any concerns about your stamina? Was there any point or any of that?
No. I mean, we played that stretch of 4-8 and 5-11, and when I don't change my habits of preparation. So, look, it's a long year, and I don't have. That's why I'm retiring. I don't have it doesn't perk as quickly, and we had that day off on Wednesday, and I saw whoever I needed to see, and it's basically exhaustion, but nothing else, and then I feel great. So, but we get to more of a normal schedule now, and so I think I'll be good. I'm trying to be good, but I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Jim.
Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah, Jim. Hey, you know what? I'm watching some of the ACC tournament stuff. You've done a great job with that, the historical perspective. And so here's the thing. So I'm watching, and when we started out, we had a lot of numbers. There was 77, and over. That's one of my pet peeves. Like, why do we only have 1 through 5? Or, that. Anyway, but you do a hell of a job with it.
Thank you.
Not the numbers, with the historical perspective.
Thank you, appreciate it. I do want to wish you a belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
You mentioned turnovers. The second half when the outcome of the game was still up for grabs. Duke was able to not just force turnovers, but force live ball turnovers and turn them into baskets and the other end of the floor. Can you talk about, in particular, one that went down the made? That was a huge play.
No, your point is a good one. It's really basically what I was talking about. when you try to steal, you're not going to get turnovers. You might get one steal, but they're going to go by you. When you control the ball, you have a chance to do stuff off the ball. And that's what happened in the second half. By controlling the dribble better, we were able to keep them out, and then we had good hands. We thought we could do that in the first half by over-pressuring, and it didn't. That didn't work. So that was a big part of the game. You know, the points off turnovers. What we had, 16, but most of them in the second half.
Eric?
Mike, you mentioned Joey. He had not hit a three in, I think, 7 or 8 games. And how did he sort of maybe stay ready, what you'd seen from him to be able to take advantage of the moment in the first half?
Yeah, well, Joey has helped us this year. You know, we just put a highlight tape together for them Friday night to have them see themselves do a lot of good things. And, you know, one of the things was a big 3 hit against Gonzaga, you know, and he's done that. He's done that. And I thought he had 2 really good days of practice. And he was prepared. You know, that was a big time performance by him, and hopefully we can get that. That would be great coming off the bench that way.
Right here.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the points in the paint, and I noticed you scored 28 points in the first half in the paint, 16 points in the paint in the second half. What did you change of the defense?
I just talked about all this, didn't I? I'm nothing against you. Like, we control the ball, and instead of trying to steal, and nothing. Look, I'm not trying to start a fight here, but basically, you know, we controlled the ball more, and we kept the ball in front of us until the end. They got some points in the paint when we got the big lead, but that's why we got the lead, is by not giving that up.
Left side.
Hi, Coach.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, my name's Vivian. I'm with the Duke Chronicle. I just wanted to ask you about, you talked a little bit about those 25 assists. Keels has been in the starting lineup the past 2 games. I was wondering kind of what led to that insertion of him and what you have seen from him that has enabled kind of this increased ball.
Yeah, well, Keels has been a starter pretty much the whole year until he got hurt. So, I mean, Trevor's one of our best players. And to me, he's gotten back from the injury he had. And it is in condition now that he wasn't in, just coming off that injury when he missed some games. So, you know, I mean, Trevor's one of our best players. So he'll be in this. He'll be in the starting lineup. Yeah.
Time for a couple more. We'll go to Steve first.
Yeah, over here. I was going to ask you about.
I recognize you.
Oh, I was going to ask you about Trevor Fields.
Are you needy today, or are you?
I was going to ask you about Trevor also, and what he's doing since he came back. As far as it seems like he calms things down out there on the court. I mean, he's 8 assists tonight. Even when he's not hitting shots all the time, he's doing that. Is that when he's looking?
You know what happens, Stevie? When he doesn't just make a pass from like the 3-point line. He because of his physicality and his strength, he gets within 12 feet, 15 feet, even into the lane, except for the last one. He should have kicked on that one. But he makes passes within that perimeter, not outside the perimeter. And he's done that, like when we go to a ball screen with him. But tonight he did it just in the normal course of the offense. I mean, and he likes doing it. He likes doing it, and it's a big asset for us when he's doing that.
Last 2 go David and then Colin.
And Mike, you've done such a good job of being purposeful and not letting this season be about your retirement and the last this and the last that. But after tonight, you've only got 1 more left here. Do you let that sink in? Do you want to appreciate that, or do you want to just take this week and make it just like
No, we have a 1-game lead, I think, right? And we're going to Virginia. That's all I'm thinking of. And there's plenty of time for that, you know. And I'm sure, I know. Look, it'll be emotional the last game here, And some of these games have been a little bit emotional for me in one way and another, all right? But even today, with all the crowd and whatever, you want to savor that feeling, because you're only going to be able to walk out on that court one more time and have that feeling. And but it makes me understand how lucky I've been to do it hundreds of times, not a dozen or like 600 times, or I don't know how many games I've coached, but a lot. I've coached, and how lucky have I been to have a moment like that to savor. But I've had those moments hundreds of times. You know, that's one. It's been a blessing, you know, to be the coach here and with this crowd and our culture. Lucky guy. I've been a very, very lucky guy. Yeah.
Colin.
You know, it was important to get up 20, but
It is always.
given
It's
the
a
way,
good. You made a good point.
given the way
A plus. A plus.
given the way Tuesday night played out, how encouraging was it for your team to stay ahead and kind of?
No, we tell them stuff like you know, the game is a long game, and we show our youth when we don't have the discipline to maintain that lead or add to it or only lose a little bit of it. I thought we did a little bit better job tonight, but still, it's like you're saying, whoa, just settle down, man. You know, settle down. No one-handed passes. No, we don't have to make a flamboyant play. We just have to take care of the clock. That doesn't mean you're holding the ball, but you just be smart, time and score, and end up with more points than them. It's a pretty simple formula, and if you get that far ahead, you should win. You shouldn't have to go to the last play of the game like we did in the last game, no matter how good the other team is, because we were contributors to that. Tonight, we were not, and hopefully going forward, we weren't. Again, you got to learn from all these things, and that's what we're trying to do. We try to show them and talk about it and whatever. You know, our guys are very confident. You know, you got to be careful not to be too confident. And so we're working on it. We're working, but I'd rather have them confident because they've won 23 games and they've done a really, really good job. And they're good kids. They're really good kids. We okay with everything?
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.